She stood at the window of Royal Lodge, staring out at the grounds she had walked for nearly 2 decades, the place she once believed would always be her refuge. But this time, something was different. The silence felt heavier, the future felt uncertain. And for the first time in years, Sarah Ferguson, the woman once known to the world as the Duchess of York, wondered if she was about to lose the one thing she still thought was safe: home. In the past weeks, whispers have grown louder, rumors spreading across Britain and beyond that Sarah Ferguson is preparing to leave the country, perhaps for good. Not for a holiday, not for a work project, but to flee the growing pressure, the scrutiny, and the unforgiving shadow of a scandal that simply refuses to die. According to friends, according to resort neighbors, according to sources who claim to know her thinking, Fergie is preparing to retreat to Portugal, not just for a break, but potentially for a new life, a fresh start, a quiet refuge, a guest suite in a £3.6 million oceanfront villa said to belong to her daughter, Princess Eugenie, and her husband, Jack Brooksbank. Whether she is escaping, hiding, or simply starting over depends on who you ask. But something is undeniably changing. Before we dive in, there's something I need to share with you. Over the past few days, thousands have watched these stories unfold, but most haven't subscribed. If you're one of them, I invite you now to join us. Subscribe to Crownverse so you never miss the next chapter in this unfolding royal history. Now let's continue. Sarah Ferguson has weathered storms before. From her divorce to her financial troubles, from toe-sucking headlines to years of public scrutiny, she has lived through more controversy than most public figures ever face. Through it all, she built a reputation as a survivor, a woman who could laugh through the chaos, who could fall, get up, and fall again, and still smile for the cameras. But the Epstein scandal has been different. Reports of a leaked email, never officially authenticated, suggested she once referred to Jeffrey Epstein as a supreme friend. That alleged message, paired with her long association with Prince Andrew, has become a stain that refuses to fade. It has cost her charity roles. It has cost her media appearances. It has cost her the warm welcome she once enjoyed in the public eye. And now it is costing her home. Royal Lodge, the grand Windsor estate where she has lived with Prince Andrew for 17 years despite their divorce, is no longer secure. Andrew is being moved out. His lease protections have expired. His support from the palace has collapsed. He will reportedly be relocated to a smaller property on the Sandringham estate. But Sarah? There is no royal fallback plan for her. No reserved cottage, no guaranteed residence. She is, quite suddenly, without a clear home of her own. Some reports describe her as facing homelessness, a phrase that is emotionally charged and not literally accurate, but one that reflects the severity of her situation. She cannot stay at Royal Lodge, and without royal provision, she must find her own refuge. Enter Portugal. Specifically, Costa Terra, an ultra-exclusive resort overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, a place where Hollywood stars stroll freely, where privacy is not a privilege, but a promise, where the wealthy and powerful hide from the world behind ocean mists and manicured fairways. Madonna has been spotted there. Scarlett Johansson has been linked to the region. Alicia Vikander and Michael Fassbender are said to enjoy life there with their children. Nicole Kidman reportedly sought residency nearby following her separation. It is a haven for those who want luxury and anonymity. And according to neighbors, according to friends, and according to sources quoted in reports, it is where Sarah Ferguson may soon be headed.
The claim, still unverified, is that a guest suite is being prepared for her in Eugenie and Jack's villa. The whispers say she could arrive as early as January. How long she stays is unknown. Neighbors describe her upcoming arrival as expected, Some say she is seeking peace. Others say she is seeking escape. Others still suggest that Eugenie, always fiercely loyal, simply wants to protect her mother from an increasingly hostile atmosphere in Britain. A U.S.-based visitor to Costa Terra reportedly claimed that the community would be the perfect hideout for Fergie while the Epstein scandal continues to rumble in Congress. This detail, too, is unverified but widely repeated. The broader truth is this: Sarah Ferguson is once again caught in the crossfire of a royal disaster she did not create but cannot escape. The allegations against Andrew remain firmly denied, yet the fallout continues to destroy everything around him, including her. Her daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, are reportedly urging her to reinvent herself, to rebuild her brand, to find a future that no longer depends on royal associations. Rumors claim she has met with a brand rescue team to help reshape her public image. That claim, like many others, remains unverified, but it aligns with the reality that she has lost nearly all her formal roles since the leaked email surfaced. For Fergie, this is not merely about a relocation. It is a painful shift, away from the last piece of stability she had left, away from the home she shared with Andrew long after their marriage ended, away from a place filled with memories, routine, and a sense of belonging. The irony is that despite their complicated past, Fergie and Andrew maintained one of the closest post-divorce relationships in the royal family. They raised their daughters together. They supported one another. They defended one another. They lived under one roof for nearly 20 years. And now, both are being uprooted in different directions. Andrew to a smaller estate in Norfolk, Fergie to the shores of Portugal. If she leaves, it will be the first time in decades that her home is not tied to Andrew, not tied to Windsor, and not tied to the monarchy. And that is where this story becomes more than a scandal. It becomes a portrait of a woman trying to survive the fallout of someone else's downfall, a woman seeking safety from public judgment, a woman caught between the life she built and the life she must now forge alone. There is another dimension to this story that adds emotional weight: family. Eugenie and Jack bought their Costa Terra property in 2022. It is a place where they can raise their children, August and Ernest, away from the pressures of royal life, a place where Jack already works, integrating naturally into the community, a place they have invested in both financially and personally. If Fergie joins them, it will not simply be an escape. It will be a return to her daughters, the people who have supported her through every scandal she has endured. It will be a shift from dependence on Andrew to reliance on her children, a reversal of roles that feels deeply human. But the question that still lingers is she going for a short stay or a permanent one? Her friends claim she is preparing to flee. Her neighbors claim they expect her arrival. But Sarah Ferguson herself has not confirmed anything. Not a word, not a statement, nothing. And that silence speaks louder than any headline. Because silence is what happens when someone is reaching the breaking point. Silence is what happens when the world becomes too loud. Silence is what happens when a woman who has survived mistake after mistake can no longer outrun the consequences of someone else's choices. But Sarah Ferguson has never been someone who gives up. Even now, even after losing roles, losing status, and losing home, she remains a figure of resilience, a woman who has reinvented herself more times than most people get the chance to. Portugal could be her rebirth, or it could be her retreat, or it could be a temporary shelter while she rebuilds her life once again. Whichever it is, one truth remains unshakable. The life she had at Royal Lodge is over. The comfort she knew is gone. The security she relied on has collapsed. And standing at the window of that estate, looking out at the grounds she must soon leave behind, she is facing the one thing she has always dreaded: uncertainty. The future is coming faster than she can prepare for it, and it may arrive with a plane ticket to Portugal. Only time will reveal whether this move is a retreat, a reinvention, or a final departure from the world she once called home. But one thing is clear: Sarah Ferguson's next chapter will not be written in Windsor. It will be written on the cliffs of Melides, on the edge of the Atlantic, where the waves will drown out the noise of scandal, and where, perhaps for the first time in years, she will feel like she can breathe.